TemaphZone.
How's it going, everybody? Wherever you are listening to this podcast right here, this is episode 81 of the TemaphZone podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts. My guest in the building today is somebody who I've been listening to recently, and I'm surprised I wasn't checking your stuff out a lot more sooner, man, because everything I heard, I'm like, you got bars, the flow, everything tight, man. Like, everything's tight with your songs. I was like, yo, he's got it. Like, you figured it out, man. I got Inswain in the building with me, man. How's it going, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? It's good, bro. How are you? I appreciate those kind words, man.
Yeah, man. I'm doing good. And look, man, like I'm genuinely like was just so shocked with the consistency of every song. Like, man, every song is like really good, and you can hit it with the singing and rapping, man. I'm really impressed with that, for real.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And it's funny because you say the bars, and it's like, because I remember that time I was dapping you up, and I don't remember the exact bar, but it was something about like Penn and Teller or something. I was like, yo, man, that that was dope. That stuck out to me.
Yeah, oh yeah. I got the magic, like I'm Penn and Teller. Give me a notebook and a pen. I tell them.
Yeah. I heard that, and I was like, nah, I'm sold. Like, he got it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, I what I gotta say is, artists who think that way, man, we spot that stuff out, because I spot your bars out. There's this, what do you have it authentic? That's like, oh snap! All right, yeah. What is it? I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Maybe
it's still play on words. It's a play on words.
Yeah. Dude, I can never think of the bars like in the middle. I have to like start and sing them, but
yeah.
It was like I'm coming up, better step aside. Try it on me, you get penalized. That's how the truth, but you pen all lies.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. No, that's a crazy bar, man. I think some artists forget to do that when they, are doing their thing, and it's like you'd be surprised, like, just throwing one of those lines in there, how big of a deal it can make with your song,
Yeah, and it's like, like I come from like, I focus on the wordplay and stuff, but it's like a lot of people, or I don't want to say a lot of people, but some people definitely like they'll listen to a song, they won't even like hear what that's saying. You know what I mean? It's like you're speaking in like a double language code speak, and it's like they're not even catching that. So like I'll be listening to songs and like I'll hear it a whole different way than somebody else might. So I just think that's really cool, like the double speak stuff. So like
yeah, man,
we catch it.
Man, and even if they don't catch it, like sometimes those things just sound cool.
Right.
So at the end of the day, like as long as you're sounding cool, it sounds dope, like word, so right. I think that's the one thing artists gotta remember. Not everything has to be so perfect and exact. You can kind of bend things and make things happen with it.
Right. It is art at the end of the day. So
exactly, man. It's for real, and the fact that your style is that way, I gotta ask you, like, with your upbringing, what were some things that, influenced you to have the sound that you have today? What would you say?
Yeah, so I actually just feel like just recently I've been defining my sound down. I started out, I just loved hip hop and rap. So I was like, I'm gonna try to make every type of song come from all angles. And like it was fun and I like it all. I can listen to it all, but I was like, this isn't like marketable really. Like you can't, you know what I mean? Like some people like, oh, you got the soft song, then you got this. So I've been trying to define it down to like a more like trappy sound. Like I just try to make every song a banger, whether you think that's right or wrong. I don't really like to do like the soft stuff too much anymore, but I think just what influenced it, honestly, funny enough, is like in middle school I listened to a lot of punk music, and I always said like I hate rap music, like we don't listen to that, and it was only punk. And then I fell in love, like I said, with like the poetic side of it. And I love rap. So I think like the aggressive, like trying to make the bangers comes from like that punk scene, honestly. Like, I don't know, it might be that.
Yeah, man. I feel like, if you have that punk background, a metal background, that hard rock background, when you start making rap music, like I feel like anybody who has that influence, like you're going to see it peek through somewhere or the other, and I feel like, especially with the punk vibes, you want that stuff where you go like that to it, and
right, exactly.
I can tell with your vibe, like, you're putting it down to a T with, how you want it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. And it's funny because like the new sound is kind of sounding like punk, like Machine Gun Kelly and all them, like they're kind of like fusing the two together. So it's like, not even intentionally, but that's almost like the kind of direction the genre's heading in a way. So it's kind of interesting in that sense.
Yeah, and I love it, man. I like, if someone was like, yo, what do you like more, the aggressive type of music or the calm type of music? I'm gonna say the aggressive type of music. I'm not gonna
Right.
lie, man. Because like I've been to mosh pits, I've been to those type of shows with that music plays, and it's nothing like it. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
Like,
And like from a consumer standpoint, like most of the time I'm listening to rap, I'm either working out or driving. And both of those times, like you want something to be hitting. Like, don't get me
yeah.
wrong, I listen to it all, but like most of the time I'm just trying to like get lit to something real quick. So it might be that too.
Oh yeah. Look, hey man, you know, the thing about saying you like everything, it's not like necessarily like the most honest statement, because at the end of the day we all have that one type of vibe where we're like, yeah, let's go, you
Right.
know, like
For sure.
no matter how talented of an artist you are, we all have that one particular style or way to do it, and we're like, yes, this is, I love this style, I love this way. So you know, that
100%.
I do everything, I love everything is not the truest statement.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Everyone's like, oh, I listen to everything. It's like, do you though? So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel you on that.
It's like, dude, you haven't listened to country in years. Like, you don't listen to everything. I'm with you all the time. You only listen to rap, bro. Like, stop
Yeah,
with the, I
yeah,
listen to
you don't,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a fact.
It's, you know, it is what it is, though, man. But you know, you gotta like what you like and do what you do. So I definitely, you know, see, you know, your vibe with that. But in terms of a particular artists, like just, you know, specific names, who are some bands or artists that you looked up to growing up?
Yeah, so it's definitely different now than when I was growing up. But like when I first started getting into hip hop, I would say like I don't know, like like everyone's got the Eminem. When I was really little, actually, I did listen to like elementary school. I remember the first CD I got was like an Eminem CD or D12 or something. So Eminem, 50 Cent, all them cats. But then when I really started like listening to the lyrics, I was listening to like a lot of like Vinnie Paz, Jedi Mind Tricks type, like some like underground, like yeah, some boom bap stuff. So
It
the
makes sense.
sound
Okay,
ain't
that
really
makes
the
sense.
same. Yeah, so that's what got me into like the lyrics, and like I really fell in love with like I don't know if you know, but Young Z, he like raps with them, and it's like just
Nah, I
like
haven't heard
that,
Young
like
Z.
really gritty, like lyrical stuff. So that's what got me to like we were talking a minute ago about like to listen to like that double wordplay and stuff. That's what really caught me with that.
Yeah, and I mean, like those guys are like every single line. It's just like a bar. You know, it's kind of scary. It
Right.
really puts things into perspective. You know, when you're writing music, you're like, shoot, like the mainstream stuff doesn't do that, but like I like what these guys are doing. Like, how do you, you know, how do we fuse the two? And that's,
Yeah,
I
and
think,
that's
you know,
yeah, for sure. I've been trying to do that. Like I got like a more of a mainstream sound, but more of an underground like writing style. So it's like trying to bridge those two together because like like I said, I like it all. I just try to take the best of what I hear. And yeah, man, that's what I've been trying to do. And like,
mhm.
yeah, what you're saying about every line, like that, like that's what I like though, because then it's like you can listen to that song over and over and over and you can still be enjoying it. It doesn't go stale quick.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the best part about songs with bars, man. You go back to it like 2 years later, you're like, oh snap. That's
Yeah,
what
like
you mean
did
by
I
that
even
word.
hear this
Oh,
song?
that was a triple meaning, not just a double meaning. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
that's, you know, and when I, that's what I mean. Like, literally every single line, every
yeah.
word is like, goddamn. And I mean, like, you know, when people are like, oh, they'd probably just like every other line. It's like, nah, every line artists out here are like barring it up. You know, it's
Yeah, that always blew my mind. It's like, what? It's like, there's like, this isn't even the same music I've been listening to. And it's funny when you go back and listen to some stuff from like when you were younger and you weren't catching it, you're like, I didn't even hear the same song back then. Like, what?
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, that's the thing. So many, I mean, a lot of just, you know, bars like that just go over people's heads, and you can go way back, and it's still people are trying to, decode some of these lyrics, man. It's, you know,
Yeah,
it's something crazy to it, you know. But at the end
yeah,
of the
it's
day,
funny.
like, you still have to remember the masses just want something to sound good. So don't, you know, I wouldn't get too
Yeah.
worked. You know, you can't get too worked up being lyrical. Like, it all depends on what you're going for, you know.
Yeah, it's like when you read the Genius sites and they like try to break it down. It's like, I don't know if they meant all that. Like, you might be going a little far.
Yeah, I was like, I think that line was just straightforward. I don't think you were reading into that. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree with you there, man. Definitely. So it's like, you know, it's just one of those things you gotta just like pay attention to. But
yeah.
let me ask you specifically just about like the music you make. If a stranger who never listened to hip hop, they only
Mhm.
listen to like pop music, or like they don't listen to like American music, like they don't listen to like
Mhm.
K-pop, and they come up to you and they're like, yo, Inswain, what type of music do you make? How do you reel them in? What would you tell that person? How would you reel that person in?
Yeah, I actually really struggled with that for a long time. I didn't know what to say or I would describe it wrong. But I think like as of this year, like I said, I've been like redefining it, getting it fine grained down. I think I would just say like energy, like energetic, like different sounds and instruments, different topics, but no matter what, I'm just trying to bring like the energy. And that's even through like the way like I might perform or anything. Like I'm always just trying to my beat selection, everything. I'm always trying to keep the energy going. Like in a verse, I might dip it down real low just to bring it back up. Like I'm just always trying to keep like no one can get bored. That's like the goal.
Yeah, man, definitely. You got energy in your stuff, man. That's for certain. And I really think, anybody that likes that stuff that gets them, hype, I think it's, your sound, you have stuff in courses that definitely put the melody in it too. And I really think like, if, unless you're like, one of those, unique artists, like if you're not implementing melody into your stuff, like how are you getting a buy in this rap game? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, especially recently, like you gotta adapt because like I said, I started off appreciating the poetic side, and when I started, like I would be writing raps, but like I couldn't rap them to save my life. So I've been like having to work on that. Like it's almost like the opposite for most people. They start off like no, I got a little flow, but they don't really know how to write anything structured. So coming at it from that standpoint, I just been my whole time just been trying to redefine, like get the good flow, get the good melodies, and that actually changed how I've been recording. I'll just like record a bunch of songs until I get a good melody. Even if I'm just like humming something, then I'll fill in the words and I'll just delete everything that's not a good melody. So like that's like what I'm not good at. So that's what I need to focus on. So it's fun. It's always funny how people are like, oh, that melody's dope. And it's like, yeah, you don't understand how many songs I had to trash to get that.
yeah, no, for real, yo. And that's the thing, like, because there's so many times I hear people do melodies like who are artists, and I'm like, I've heard this melody before, what I mean? And I think it just comes from a place where it's like, like it's when you deal with real singers, like they have range of melody, like they understand things just a little differently. And I think with certain rappers, like, I don't think they're going to it as a rapper, so like the singing, they might not be taking on all these ranges and not be looking into all these things. So I think like that it's tough, man. It's tough finding melodies when you are a rapper, because like no matter, even if you do sing, like we're still rappers at the end of the day. And so
100%.
we didn't come into this as singers. That's why that's why when you hear a real singer, it's like damn.
No. Right, 100%.
You just know when someone's a real singer,
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, and it's funny you said that about like I heard that before. It's like I don't even know if people do it on purpose, but it's just you might just be inspired from something or have it in your head, and then it just comes out and it's like almost an exact copy, if not. So it's like I gotta try to make sure that too, that it's like make sure I haven't heard this anywhere and I want it to be original, because sometimes I'll get something good and I'm like, nope, that was that song, same melody. I'm just ripping it off or something.
Yeah, like shit. Oh, this is literally the exact.
Yeah, I thought I had something there.
This is coming over the flow. Like, yo, man, that's the flow to the box, yo. Like, like that's literally the exact flow. Like, yeah, that's scary, man. Yeah, that's one of those things you definitely have to catch yourself. I've had to send songs to people. I'm like, yo, does this sound familiar to you by any chance? Or like, nah, this sounds fine. I was like, dude, I'm like, I don't know why I'm thinking I copied somebody here. I was like,
yeah, dude, I do the same thing. I asked my girl, I'm like, does this sound like this flow? And I'm like, all right, nah, I'm good or something. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's just like, you just got to be careful, man. Last thing you want to be accused of is stealing a flow or biting. Cause we are trying to be original out here, I mean, and like or like your song Authentic, trying to be authentic out here. See, yeah.
Nice transition right there.
Transition. Yeah, I wasn't the next question, but shoot, I'm going through it, man. Let's talk about it, man. I think that was the song that made me go, all right, I think I gotta get him on the podcast. That's serious, man. I think it has the chorus is very catchy. You're spitting in the flows there. Yeah, talk about just how you came about writing that song.
All right, so I was actually just talking about this yesterday. All my songs, people ask like, "What's the story?" And it's like there isn't really much of a story. Like I kind of just, I was leaving Sonic, bro, playing a beat off of YouTube, and I just was like, I'm like, okay, that flow sounds good. Like, what are we gonna say? And then I just kind of like come up with one line, usually something that fits in, and then it's just keep playing on the words and flipping stuff, and the next thing you know, there's this whole song, and it's like. I know most people don't work like that. They usually go in with like a topic, but like I'm different. Like I don't need to be inspired by anything. It's just like I just am like trying to play with the words and flip stuff. And then next thing you know, I got this whole song. So believe it or not, that song came from eating at Sonic, eating some ice cream and some like chili cheese tots or something. So that's what that's about.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And I think like, I like your response to that, because I do think more artists like definitely need to like just Like you can just make a song just straight from being in a good mood and you're feeling creative. Like
That's what I'm saying.
Not
Yeah.
everything has to be this deep meanings, behind it, but a lot, but I only ask because, sometimes, a song that does sound like it's just, you were having fun could have been like, yo, so that day, blah, this, blah, that, you never know. So, but
Right.
sometimes like, I'm just feeling good and bam, we just hopped to the studio. There we go, so.
Yeah, that's sometimes all it is. I could have, I feel like sometimes people just try to make up the story after the fact. Like I could have came up with this whole thing. Like I feel like sometimes people just make the story to sound cool, but like, nah, there's nothing to it. I just heard a beat in the car and I was like, it just struck to me. Like that's how a lot of them it is. Like I'll just be cycling through beats and I'm like I appreciate the talent. It's good. It needs to just click. And it's just like, you don't even have to try. It just hits you. It's like, bam, this is it. I got a song already.
Yeah, man. No, that's always a good feeling, man. And
Yeah.
I feel like some of the best songs, I feel like as Johnny says, like I wrote some of my best songs in like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like the more you try, the worse it's gonna come out almost. So it's like hard to find that balance of like you really want to be productive, but sometimes you just can't force it. You're just not gonna get a good product.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, artists and questioning themselves and doing too much. And, that's the thing that is just like, I feel like we could talk about that for on and on, man,
Yeah, that's a whole episode right there.
That's a whole other episode, man. Artists got it bad like that, man. And, and I think, I only address it because I think the people who don't make music got to understand that these things just don't come out of nowhere. Like, sometimes, you just got to be in a zone. It's not just like, oh, at 5 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to write the song and see how it goes. You're just playing video games and out of nowhere, boom, got a full in my head. Here we go.
Yup, that's how it is. And that's a problem for me because I'm like I'm strict on schedule, like a workaholic, like got to do this.
Yeah, schedule's a great thing to have. Yeah, for sure.
But it don't mesh with the art sometimes. So it's like, it's hard to be an artist and trying to be like, all right, I'm going to practice for an hour or something. It's like, it don't work like that. So you gotta take what you can from it.
Dude, that's some real shit, man. Yeah, it made me think of like the story Akon had. Yeah, like Eminem. He's talking about Eminem. He was like, Eminem, this dude would go to the studio from 9 to 5. It was like 4:58, and then it turned 4:59, 5 o'clock. And as soon as it turned 5, Eminem said, "Oop, I gotta go." Middle of the session, just left.
Yeah, that's funny.
Talking about like how the structure is just so important, but having it with music is, like you're saying, it could be like, contradiction.
Yeah, you never know. And that's so funny because Eminem is someone that a lot of people would consider to be one of the best to ever do it. And it's like he treated it like a day job. It's just funny to me. But exactly. I think personally, if I was in the zone, I wouldn't be able to cut it off at 5.
No. Yeah, exactly. When you're in the zone, man, you could work for, just hours and hours and hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've been trying to tell myself, like, it's not even really like the end result, how many views, how the song sounds. Like sometimes it's like just falling into that zone and enjoying it. It's really what it's all about sometimes. So it's like I've been trying to embrace that more lately.
Yeah, I think you can tell when people are working on music and they're having like fun with it.
Yeah,
like when you hear a song, like, man, like, yo, this sounds like he wanted to make this song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can't fake that energy.
Yeah, like because even if it's like a song where it's like something out of somebody's realm, they can just tell like, oh shoot. Like, I think we were talking about MGK, like, he's out there just, putting out, punk music. And it's like, well, that's what he's feeling. That's what he's doing. And it's working out for him,
Right. Yeah. And you can kind of sense if it's authentic or not to use that word, but you can kind of sense like if it's like forced or not, you know what I mean? Like you can usually tell if it's genuine. So.
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, the people can always smell bullshit, man.
Yeah.
My listeners, they probably hear me say it all the time, but like, the people can smell the bullshit, bro. And it's just, and as there's more artists coming into this game every day, like you got to find a way to like really be who you are,
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed a lot lately is like, even in the mainstream, like it's getting farther away from like saying the same things as everyone. Like people will be saying things that are very personal to them. And it's like, millions of people relating to something that only you experience. And it's just something really interesting that I noticed. It's like I think of Jack Harlow, like he'll say something like specific to him, but everyone around the world relates to it. And it's like, how is that even possible? So it's interesting.
Yeah. No, definitely. Jack, he's definitely one of those guys that I feel like is definitely, in another lane like that as well, man. I think another thing, like when it comes to this, like speaking things differently, you got a guy like Lil Baby. When you drop the bigger picture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I definitely shook things up. Anderson .Paak, he did something with that too. And, it made me want, just ask you about just like making political statements. Cause right now, like we're recording this on what's today's date? October 26th. So in 8 days, there's going to be an election and it's going to be crazy. And, so you got a bunch of artists, making, political rap songs. But do you think that this is something that all the artists should step into? Because all the rappers are telling people to go vote and, making political, songs. Do you think it's like something necessary to do? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, that's a pet question. I think I think first and foremost, everyone has the right to say what they want or refrain from saying what they want. So I don't think everyone should be mandated to do so. But I think from a personal standpoint that everyone should feel at least a little obligated to spread what they believe is right, whether it be right or not. I think that they don't have to, but I think it would be the right thing to try to, because they do, at the end of the day, they do have the influence. So I think it's a good thing for them to speak what they're feeling and try to influence the masses, even if it's not in the music. More and more nowadays, it's like people listen to the music, but they're also following you on social media. They're following what you do. So you could be someone that makes songs like Lil Uzi Vert. He's just making fun party songs, but then he could go on, just to use him as an example, someone like that could go on their social media and preach what they think is right. So I don't think they have to do it in the music, but I mean, if you got the platform and you can make a change, it's like, why wouldn't you, even if it's behind the scenes, it's like, you got to do what's right at the end of the day.
Nah, man, I totally agree. And, the people that are annoyed by all the vote this, vote. It's like you don't understand how, the people who've died for that right.
Right.
Wish that they could and can't, and it's not just about who's going to be the president. There's a whole bunch of questions on there for your state and stuff too. So I definitely, see where you're coming from with that. But I think one reason why I ask is because I think, some people don't feel that not like certain artists just aren't equipped to, talk about it. They'd be saying some wild stuff. I think you've probably seen a few people kind of speak out. You're like, man, what are you talking about?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I think they shouldn't be mandated to do so, because I think artists like that, they know their lane, and that's totally fine. You at the end of the day, you don't have to do it. But even if they make music like that, they could still behind the scenes be a whole nother person and preach what they want. Or even they don't even have to say it. They could just be behind the scenes doing the right thing, donating, doing whatever it takes to do, just fighting the good fight, even if they're not trying to influence other people. So I think everyone takes it to their own level with that. But at the end of the day, even not in music, I think everyone should just be doing what they can to do the right thing.
At the end of the day, when it comes to just speaking about anything political, you gotta just do your research. It's, and I don't think a lot of times people do research before they write a song.
Yeah, nah.
But I think it's probably pretty important to do some research before you step into these things, because you don't want to go into your song, and then now you're just rapping about a conspiracy accidentally,
Yeah, that's the thing too, is it's so easy, especially nowadays, to just see the first thing you see and to just believe it, or not to look into it any deeper. And I mean, everyone says that, everyone knows they need to do the research, but I think to some degree we're all a little bit guilty of just seeing something and just assuming it's true just because you see it a lot or not. And it's actually funny because I'm going to school right now. I do actual scientific research. So on the other end of the spectrum, you can become too engulfed in doing research, and to the point where you don't ever come to a conclusion or push a point. So it's you got to find that balance. But I think generally speaking, we could all use a little bit more research.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. We have all this information with the internet. We still run into these problems, man. People are still believing the dumbest shit,
Yeah.
People believe lizard people exist,
Yeah. I think it just says more about humans and how we think than more than anything. Why is it that we're so reluctant to look things up and to just believe it? I think there's some truth there about us, about how it is. And it's we can learn from that, because if we keep on this path, it could be pretty dangerous if people just believe in the first thing they see. But like I said, I know for a fact that I've seen things just because everyone's saying it, you think it's true, but then it turns out we're all wrong. So I think we just got to be careful of that. And at the end of the day, everyone's going to do what they're going to do anyways. So we just got to hope that the positivity is the majority.
Yeah, dude, that's so true, man. You're going to alienate people. Even if you just tell people, go and vote.
Yeah.
Because let's be real here. When people say go and vote, you're probably Democrat. Because nobody who's saying go and vote is telling you to vote for Donald Trump. They're going to be Trump 2020, baby, MAGA. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my thing about it, too. And, It goes back to why I asked the question, because there's just so many ways you can look at it. You know what I mean? And I just, really think at the end of the day, it's all about having that platform, man. Like, you got to spread awareness to things, where things are just getting too shaky right now. It's, people got to stand up for something. If you don't stand for something, you don't stand for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that 100%. Yeah. And like, I can see the other side. I can see the other side where it's like, they don't want to get too involved and be labeled like that. But it's like, you kind of got the responsibility. Like, if you got the platform, you got to use it for what you think is right. So it's a double-edged sword, but you got to find that balance at the end of the day.
Yeah, double-edged sword. Yep, that's definitely the term for that, man.
Yeah.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So
yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, just do it. Just go for it, man. Be you. Just be you. You know what I mean? Like, talk your shit. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about just you and mixing and mastering your own music, man. I think that's very, very impressive. I don't know too many people who mix and master and also, work on music themselves. So I think that's, a good trait to have. What got you into doing that, man? It's a lot to take on.
Yeah. So, I think, like you were saying, like, I think most people that also are like a rapper or a vocalist, I think that a lot of them produce, but not as many also do the engineering side. I do a little production, but my beats definitely aren't as good as my engineering is. I don't really know what got me into engineering, because I would always be paying engineers, and I'm like, that seems so hard. Like, I would hate that. And it turned out that, like, I really love it. I think it just turned into something like, I don't know. I just always want to do everything myself. Like, I want my hand in everything. Like, obviously on like the surface level, it's like you're saving money by doing it yourself. But I don't know. It's just like, it's a creative thing. It's like making your beat, writing the lyrics, like mixing and mastering. It's a little bit of this like piece of the pie of the creativity. So I just wanted my hand in everything. And it just started off like trying a couple of my own songs. And then next thing you know, I'm like engineering for all these people. And I got a lot of experience quick. So in hindsight, I think it's like one of the most important things to get in your own sound, because you could go to the best mix engineer in the world, and if they don't have the same vision of your song, it's not going to sound like how you want.
Yeah, man. That's so true, dude. And I feel like when you step into understanding just how to mix your stuff, and I guess for the most part mix, because mastering's a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
mastering's very different. But I'd say when it comes to mixing, I think you have a better understanding of just how everything is structured and arrangement and all that stuff. Arrangement's something you learn just from being a producer too. But right. I mean, like, that's the thing though. It's like, even if you were to step into production, it's like you still want to figure out mixing, especially if you're using auto-tune, because auto-tune, there's so many ways you can finesse it if you understand how it works. You know what I mean? So I think it's one of those things that definitely, it doesn't hurt you. But how long would you say you've been mixing your own stuff?
So honestly, not too long. Probably about, I really started like probably 2 years ago, give or take, but I wasn't doing it a whole lot, because like when you kind of start, like, you're obviously not good at it, so you don't want to release anything, so you don't get the practice. But out of nowhere, it just took off, and I just been like I spend most of my days like mixing and mastering songs. So I've been like, this year I probably, oh my God, dude, I've been averaging multiple songs a day. So I do it all day. So damn, I feel like I've only been doing it for 2 years, but I got like 10 years of experience in those years.
Yeah, you're just pumping out tracks so much, man. Yeah, dude, that's dope, man. I think more artists need to understand every piece of, what it takes to make a song, like, and I think a good way to start doing that is if you make beats, because if you make beats, like, you can't just be good on the instruments. You do have to be able to mix your beats to make it everything pop and the kick to hit right.
100%. Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of the way it's coming now. More people, especially with like the way the world is right now, more people are recording from home. They're doing everything themselves. They're producing more, they're recording themselves, doing the mixing, doing the mastering, doing the graphics, putting it out. Like, I feel like we're just headed in that direction where it's like everyone's a one-man band, man. And I like that, because it's just like you get more hands on the creativity. Like, I remember back in the day, like I didn't know anything about mixing. And it's like you were saying, like, even just knowing what can be done and what can't be done, it changes the way that you write the songs, knowing like, this is going to sound dope, or there's nothing that can be done. This song is just garbage. So I think it's headed in a good direction, at least the way I see it.
Yeah, man. One-man bands are definitely like just something you're seeing all over the place. I think that's just the way it's going. I mean, I see a lot of people that I know who are doing their thing, and it's like they got their team of people who can take care of it for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the most, you know what I mean? Like, like yeah, like I do 60% of it, but these other three guys are doing everything else too, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's your whole team, and then from there you literally can do your thing. And I think this is all slowly unfolding in the music game, man. And when I see all this going on, it just makes me wonder, where the future of music goes from here, because
Yeah, I
everybody can
always
do
think about
themselves,
that.
right? Yeah, man. Shit. I mean, if you could figure that out, man, you'd be way ahead right now, man. I wish, because I'm hearing so many, different things about the future of music and what the big labels are doing, man. It's tricky to figure out because they see what's going on. It's so easy to record at home. You know what I mean? Like, so easy to just like record for yourself. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's hard to see where it's going. And like you look back in the day, like you play your instrument, maybe more, but like you're in the band, you play your instrument, you go to the studio, you just record your part. You're not writing the song. Someone else is recording it, then they're mixing it, someone else is mastering it. And now it's like more and more people are got like their hands on it every step. I think that has a lot to do too with like the digital workstations and just working from your computer and producing. Like you were saying, like you can't be a producer without doing a little bit of mixing. So it's like goes
It's
back
impossible.
to like the EDM stuff and all that. Like these people, they're doing it all themselves and like just sound creation, all that. So like I think it just gives more opportunity for people to do everything that they can do as opposed to just staying in that one lane.
Yeah, man. No, I totally hear you on that, man. It's a crazy time we're in with the music game, man. Like you just see like everybody just trying to take on as much as possible. Things were just so divided back then, like one person did this was the singer, this was the guitarist, this was this guy. You very rarely you had the guys who could pull off, a bunch of different things, like a Prince. You didn't the guys like that were rare breeds, but the technology has made it so easy now. And with that being the case, man, you got to really have that talent and the passion to prove that you're worth it,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cause like in my case, like I wasn't a natural at anything. I was just like, this needs to get done. And I don't want like to keep paying and have someone else doing what I could feel like I could do myself. So it's like, it really lends to people that are like go-getters or they want to just teach themselves. And like, that's a whole nother conversation too, with like, you can learn anything you need to do on YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? You could teach yourself anything.
Dude, it's literally all there on YouTube, y'all. Like I literally was thinking to myself, like, man, like my car was messed up. There's something wrong with it. I looked it up on YouTube. I felt like I felt so good about myself that day, bro. But like, I only say that because it's like, you can learn anything off of YouTube, man, if you just pay attention and just listen to the details. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
Like it's just, you just got to take that time and want to, be able to pull off, all the information's there for you. Like it's really all there for anybody to do now if they want to take it on. It's just, do you want to push it? How far are you willing to go?
Right. And then it's crazy because it's all there, but only certain people learn it. And it's like, I'm still over here mixing and mastering for people. Like they're coming to me for all the experience and the time I've put in. But at the end of the day, it's like anyone could do this. Like I started with knowing nothing, just looking up tutorials, like anyone could do this and do for themselves. And then that moment I go under. So it's like, it's really interesting in how it's like, it's all out there, but there's still some people that are like excelling in it.
Yeah, man, it's a dope thing to see, man. I'm happy everything's so easily accessible because I remember the time when you had to go to a studio, and that was only 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like 8 years ago, everything was different. You couldn't just buy home studio stuff. It wasn't. It was all everything was higher price and stuff.
Right. It's crazy. We've seen it all change rapidly. It's almost like we've been through like seen the whole like transition from like what you consider old school to now. Like we've been here for the whole transition. It's just wild.
Yeah, we really have seen it all unfold, man. So it's gonna just get more digital and robotic, if you ask me. That's all.
Yeah, like I think back, like I was a kid, I'm like we like went outside and stuff. Like, do people like do that anymore? Like anyone ever play wiffle ball?
Yeah, right. Corona doesn't help that either. It's all crazy, man. Like that's why I feel like at the end of the day, like, would you say like the songs you release? What do you think you're trying to do right now? Because like no one's going to clubs and stuff. So would you just say you're just kind of just putting out whatever?
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't. Corona and anything that you consider 2020, definitely a unique case, but I haven't let that influence the content of my music.
Okay. Yeah, that's what
I just see like Hopefully that's the goal probably for every musician, is that your songs are hopefully supposed to be timeless, and they're not supposed to just be 1 week, 2 week, a month, and then no one's going to hear them again. So I go in there thinking like this could blow up in 40 years. You know, I could be gone for 100 years and someone discovers this. So it's like I don't really try to write too many things that are like specific to the times. Like I want this to be played in 2040 and be just as relevant.
Nah, man, that's a good mindset to look at it, man. I think too many artists give up on their music after like, oh, it's been up for 2 years. Like that thing's old. It's done. It's over with. It's like, what you mean it's done and over with? Like that song's amazing. Who cares if it came out 2 years ago?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's so interesting because that only really happens in music. Like you don't see people be like, yeah, I painted that painting 2 years ago. You can't look at it anymore. It's not this, like, it's the same painting. It's the same song. Like, it's just so crazy how fast it moves, especially in music. Like, I feel like I'm like, dang, I haven't dropped a song in like 3 weeks. And it's like, you gotta slow down.
Yeah, dude, I had to tell myself the same shit. He's like, damn, dude. It's like, nah, you've been doing good. It's like, yo, like you put out bad music. Like you probably have a whole EP's worth of music out right now, bro. Like, a whole album's worth of music. Like if you look at it that way, it's like, shoot, it's been all good. It's like, even if you drop 2 songs this year, that's still very impressive. Like at least if they're like 2 songs that were good, maybe had, you know, 1 music video with it. Like, you know, I think it just comes down to, you know, what value do you put to your music? You know, how long do you think it's going to last, you know?
Yeah, because like I don't know, maybe last year or maybe 2018, one of the years I was doing like I was dropping a song every Friday, and it's like I could keep up with that pace, but it's almost like they just get lost in the ethos, and people don't even see you promote it for that week, and then it's like that song might have just got slept on, and so I'm like I gotta slow down, and it also helps your music too because it's not like I was rushing the songs, but when you really sit down and you're like, this is the only thing I'm going to drop this month, say, then you make sure every little corner of that thing is perfect and polished the way you want it. So I think that's also a good way to look at it too. Like you're putting these out forever. So like, this is your one chance, make it perfect.
Yeah, man. And especially when you have the song you believe in. And you put the video behind it, promote it right, cover right, everything right. Like everything is promoted right. Like just off of that, people are going to like the song, you know? Because if you don't do any of those things right, the song could be fire, but people might not really embrace it for what it is, you know?
Yeah, any little thing could just change their perception. And like, especially like with the art, like if your art's not good, you could have the best song ever, but no one's going to click on it with that art. It's just like, it's a shame, but it's just the truth. It's just the reality. So you got to come at it from every angle, get the video right, all that. And that's a lot of work too.
Yeah, every single angle. Like, you know, the details insane. Like the font on the cover, the caption to what you post of the song. Like, it is like people don't understand. Like, this is where digital marketing comes into play. Like, these things are so specific, man. Like, you know, detail is everything. You know?
Yeah, I know, and it's like, when you're the artist, like you start out, you don't want to do that. You just want to make a song, and then you're like, it's a good song. It shouldn't matter, but it really does. Like you're learning like what colors go together and like how to post it, what time. And it's like, I don't like that, but that's what it is. So you got to adapt.
Yeah, man. No, that's just, you got to adapt, bro. You know, if you don't adapt, what you going to do? You know? It's as simple as that, man. Especially right now. I mean, like, you know, let's like, you know, for example, Jay-Z. That dude has adapted, and that's why he's considered a GOAT, you know?
Right, for all these years.
Yeah, he's adapted in so many ways. Any other GOATs adapt. They always do, you know?
Right. Or you get left behind in your era. It's like the times are changing faster and faster, and these people are still around. It's like they're obviously like they're not changing their core beliefs and who they are, but they're adapting with the times just enough to always stay relevant. And that's a skill in its own.
Yeah, man. I think that's something that I think any artist that's serious about it should, you know, strive to be, you know?
Right.
Adapt and, you know, always be with the times, man.
Yeah.
But Inswain, man, we're cutting it close, man. We're getting towards the end of the episode, but I want to ask you just a couple more questions we got out of here. I noticed you have the Braves hat on. Are you a Braves fan? I always see you with the Braves hat in the videos. I'm like, is he from Atlanta? What's the affiliation? Just curious.
All right, so here's the thing. Never stepped foot in Atlanta. Not a Braves fan at all. I don't know how it happened. I just was younger and I thought the hat was cool and I got it. And I always had it on in the shoots and the videos and all that and the covers, and it just became a thing. And then now I'm just recognized by the Braves hat and I'm stuck with it. So
yeah, hey man, I feel you on that. I mean, it's definitely a dope hat. I feel you. I like my hats too, so I feel you on that. Like, I've never been the person to care, like, to rock, like, you know, a team that I don't like affiliate with. I'm like, I'll rock that. You know, I'm like that with like the Sox and like the Raiders, probably because of NWA, but
Right.
Yeah,
And it's funny. I have all these jerseys too that I wore in these cypher shoots and stuff. And like I was walking around campus and this dude was like pressing me, talking shit about like the Rockets or something. And I didn't have the heart to tell him like, bro, like I don't even like care about the Rockets, dude. Like it's just a jersey. I'm sorry. Like
it's like, yo, it's just for style, man. Like I just like the red and black. I like sorry. Like I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
You know what? Like it's hard to say because you can tell they're passionate about it. So
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to rain on their parade. I'm like, you do you, but like personally, like I just wore it for a shoe or something.
Yeah, man. No, that's funny. But hey, you know, like the sports swag is dope. I'm all for rocking a team that I don't care about, man. I'm all for
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, you know, because I know at the end of the day who I really like, you know. So
Right. Same here. Yeah. Like I'm like for basketball, like I don't really watch sports anymore, but like I'm a Lakers fan, and for football, I guess you would say I'm a Giants fan. I'm a little ashamed to say that, but like
both the hats I got in the background are like the opposite of the family.
Yeah, that's funny.
The Patriots, yeah, that's bad funny. But those are good teams to be fans for, especially the Lakers. So I can definitely get behind that. Yeah, Giants.
Absolutely.
Those are good teams though, so I definitely rock with that though. So yeah, man, not bad choices. I want to ask you though, man. Just back to the music. What's next for Inswain, man? What's next for you? What do you see you doing from here out? I know you always got something planned for the future, but what can you tell the people?
I definitely am a planner, and I'm always way ahead, you know. I got a few songs coming soon, but most importantly, like 2 weeks ago or something, I went back up to Mass and we shot like 6 videos. So I'm going to be flooding with them before anything comes. A few of them are songs that aren't out, but yeah, so I got a ton of videos lined up. I like to stack up. I hate the feeling of like I need to make something. I always need something ready. So I guess I would say next up is the Bundle Up music video. I'm going to be announcing that probably tomorrow or something in a few days. So I got that one coming.
Okay. I like that, man. I like stacking up on it. You know? Yeah, that's good, dude. That's definitely a good position to be in, man. So I can't wait for that, man. You know, I definitely think, you know, that one's going to be some fire for them. So I definitely think the people are going to be ready for that, man. Inswain, where can the people follow you at, though? Where can the people follow you at? What do you want to plug for them?
Oh, hit me on MySpace. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, you brought it back.
Yeah, anywhere but MySpace. Mostly Instagram. I use mostly Instagram, Inswain994, Facebook, any of that, Twitter. Just look up Inswain. You'll find me. Say what's up. You know, I'll say what's up back. You know, it's all good.
Very easy to find, actually. I typed in Inswain, you're first in the pop up. I think you're the only Inswain.
Yeah, that's good.
That's crazy.
There's a dude named Swain O or something like that, but he's a lot bigger. So I'm hoping no one comes and takes the Inswain and trademarks it before I get on that.
I think you'll be fine. I think you got that one on deck.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Man. Yeah, man. Inswain, thank you very much for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it, man. For real.
Yeah, man. You too. Appreciate it. This is dope. I really like this. Thank you, man.
No problem. All right, y'all. Episode 81 of the TemaphZone podcast. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. We're going to be back with another one for y'all next week, all right? So make sure you tune in for that one as well, okay? Okay. Peace out, y'all.
You heard him.
Hit the thing. Well, whatever. Peace.